Welcome to Yerushalmi Sotah Daf Mem Ches Amud Aleph. We're holding by the Mishnah. Zok the Heilige Mishnah Eidach Lemerisi Es HaHoyreg. And we had this a little bit back, so just go through quickly. Eidach Daim 1:8 says Risi HaHoyreg. I saw the murderer. Eidach Daim Lo Risi. I didn't see it. Isha Meres Risi Isha Meres Lo Risi Hayu Arfen. They did the Arifa. That's Afik. If one says 1:8 says I saw it, and 2 say I didn't see it, we didn't see it. If two witnesses say we saw the murderer and one says we didn't, I didn't because then it's a vat, it's not a suffix anymore. Gidel ba minyam, and again we had the Zukti Gemara Gidel ba minyam, Mishem Rav Kol Makom Shechshiru Eitas Isha Ki Ish, or Ish Machesh Isha, Isha Machesh as Ish. The Gidel ba minyam says every time the Isha is kosher, is kshevet to be a witness, she has the same value as an Ish, and Ish can be Machesh and vice versa. So if Gemara, that's the case, then Nisni Eid Omer Isi Esa Hayreg, Isha Amro Lo Isa, or Isha Amro Isi, Veid Omer Lo Isa. In other words, why do we say Eid versus Eid? Why don't we have a woman versus a man? I'll teach me much big Kiddush. After the Gemara, Tana Beis Rabbi Cain, Beis Rabbi Taka learned this way. Tani b'shem Rabbi Chemia holchen acharoiv hadei. We go based off the plurality of the days. In other words, we go based off the majority. Hey chavida, shtayim noshim. So what's a case? What's an example of this? Shtayim noshim vish echad. Also, isun kishnei eidim. Then they made it the eid echad. Now the eid echad is a little bit right. What aid is this? What kind of aid is it? A male or a female? So that We're talking about the aid echad is an isha, and versus other nashim. Let's say it's 100 women saying we saw the murderer of eid echad versus neid echad says he didn't. Then ke'ed be'edinun, and they would cancel each other out. So over here, this would not be like Gidl Bar Minyam. Zoktel Mishnah Lachaches. Mishra Boroitzchan when there were many murderers, Batla Eglaruf. They stopped the Eglarufa, they darshan. Right, we saw yesterday it's Kiymatse, and if it's all over the place, it's not the Kiymatse, sounds like it happened to be, you found it. But if it's all the time, then it's not Kiymatse anymore. Mishabah Elazar ben Dinoy, Tchil ben Prisha, Hayinikra. Elazar ben Dinoy actually had a AKA. His AKA was Tchina ben Prisha. That's what he was called. And once they figured out who he was, Chazal say Ben HaRoitzchan, the murderer. Zokti Gemara, Ben HaRoitzchan, Barik Tula. He's a guy who, Barik Tula, he kills people for a living. That's what he does. He's a mafioso. Halacha Tezok Deli Mishnah Mishrabam Nafin. When you had lots of niyuf going on, people were promiscuous. Paskwa Maimarim stopped working. Rabbi Yochanan Zakeh of Sikon. Rabbi Yochanan Zakeh is actually the one who stopped doing the Meisaita. Shneim says le'efkoy labnei seichem. Why? He says, Nena, I'm not going to bother be poiked on your daughters. He says, Nena, because they're being promiscuous. Zokt Gemara the Ksiv Giheim Am Hazainais Yiporeidu. It says in the pasuk. Ki heim, I'm sorry, ki heim im azoinus yiporedu, uksiv hoisa isha la'ola bekerev amo. So when does this work? It's only bisman she amo sholem. When is she in Allah? When is she considered to be? People can occur say, oh, you're going to like so and so promiscuous or so and so. That's only if, as a rule, people aren't promiscuous. Like bisman shama prutzim. If the amos is parutz, then it's not hoisa isha Allah because she's not an Allah. She's just like everybody else. Benikish me'avoin, we darshan also the isha hitis havoina. Amos isha noises havoina. When the waters work, when the meisite work, that's only bisman sheish nakim oven. But if the ish is also promiscuous, then the meisite are not going to work. Zog today like Mishnah lochiyod mishmes yos ben yazish tzrei the yos ben yochanan ishushalayim. These were zugas batlo hashkoilos. Didn't have gedolim that were pure. In other words, that gedolim that were bekim and everything. It says ein eshkol lechol. It says in the pasuk, Ein eshka lechel bikura, if a bikura, if nafshi. I'm longing for a bikura, somebody that's pure, it's pure. Fretig mar v'lo yom eshka lacha amar Rabbi Akiva. And as I'm sorry, so Rabbi Kiva, till Rabbi Kiva came around, there were no eshkalos. If hating one step, what about all the zugas that are listed in Pirkei Avos up to the point of Rabbi Kiva? Weren't they eshkalos? I mean, they must have been great people. Shimshu Parnasos. We're talking about not the people who had an official position, have bezdin, a nasi. We're talking about the regular people who are learning. So those taka till Rabbi Kiva came around, he didn't have any eshkalos. Tani, kol azuga shamdu mishmeis Moshe vad she'amed Yosef ben Yezer Yitzrei, v'Yosef ben Yochanan Shalayim. Efsha were goyres over here. Efsha lit mem doifi. They were pure. There was nothing. You couldn't say anything against them. Mishemeis Yosef ben Yezer Yitzrei, v'Yosef ben Yochanan Shalayim. Ad shamat Yehuda ben Bava. Efsha lit mem doifi. Until Yehuda ben Bava's times, from Mishemeis Yosef ben Yezer and Yosef ben Yochanan, then there was doifi. You could say things against certain people. Obviously, none of this is on our Madrega. Amru, what was Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava? So Amru, Yehuda ben Bava, Shahayu kol ma'asav l'shem Shemaim. Everything he did was l'shem Shemaim. El shegidol behemadaka. His only chesaron was there's megadol behemadaka. L'vayavons gezukt. V'kacha yimaisa. And that's not even the story is even more amazing. Pamachas. Chala, he was sick. V'nechnasu arayf metzli. Doctors came Levakra to visit him. Amru, they said to him, or Labatka maybe, Levakra to visit him. Amru, they said to him. Ein lecha refuah el lecholav reitech shahoinegech. You need to have hot milk because he had a shortness of breath, and the treatment for that is hot milk. So what did he do? Lokach he bought a goat v'kosher lekirei mitasei for extra security. The thing shouldn't run away. The goat shouldn't run away. Tied it to the posts of his bed. But yonik mimena cholav reitech. So every time he had shortness of breath, and he went and he had some of the hot milk. They come and wanted to go visit him. They said, "Hey, how can we go into his house or list him? He has the thief, meaning the A's is in his house." Yerushalmi Sotah, and when he was dying, the only Avera I have is this, that I had Shavati to and I had a Medaka in my house. Ukeshemes and Taka when he died, they took Chacham al Kolmasov, went through everything. He tivla matzav yoda ela avoin oisaha eiz bavad. The only thing he found was the aver of this goat. Amr Shimon Shizuri shall base Abba. It was my family, my ancestors. Hoy balibatim begal. They were, I guess, wealthy people. B'lama charav, and why were they? Lama charav, why were they destroyed? So you done in dinamamis be'echad. Even though it's mut, they were done dinamamis be'echad. In other words, and even though it's mut, yachid mumcha kedan dinamamis. So the carbonator says either was done, they did a big fias, and it's only meant to be done once in a while. Or it could be it's a darach chasidus. Zok the carbonator. They shouldn't do it, even though you have a right to. And they used to raise beimedaka. V'kachoya, this was the story, kachoy mais, I should say. This was the story. In other words, this Bein Medaka that they had, also, it's an amazing story. Chayrish, echad hoylanu, samach leah, we had a forest that was next to the city. V'hoy sa'asada beinenu, uveino, and we had a field, we owned a field that was between, at least this is a carbonated shout, that we had our field, the field belonged to us, that was between our house and the forest. And the tzar needs to go back and forth to the forest. They walk through the field and eat from the field. Now, even though the field belonged to them, still they were punished for it because because it's Marisayim. People are not going to know that it's their field. They'll think that it's they're pasturing from other people's fields. Okay, we'll stop here for today.